Hey guys, this is Stephanie and I am Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. I'm coming to you today with my Midsummer Freakout tag. I saw this going around. I thought it looked super fun, so I wanted to do it. I think it was originally done by Cami, and it's just one of those ones that people do every year during the summer when they suddenly realize it's June and they have not even read half the books they want to read this year. That would be me. But there are always so many books I want to read, so, you know. Question number 1, what is the best book that you have read so far this year? Now, I actually have 2 that I want to talk about, but I am going to save the other one for an answer for another question, and I'm going to go with And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. I read this in April. I read it in one sitting, which is crazy because I'm a really slow reader and I never read things in one sitting, and I loved it. Basically, it's about a bunch of people who go to this island, like a small island, not like Lost Island, but like, you know, you can see all the way around and there's ocean everywhere. That kind of island. And they get there, and I'm going to be vague because the surprise is the part that's the best. But basically, people start dying, and everybody who's there is in this house, and they all are aware of each other, which means that one of us is killing everybody else. Oh, it's a great book, and it was written in, I don't know, like 1940 maybe, early 40s. So this is like a truly original book. You should read it. It's fab. Question number 2, what is the best sequel you've read so far this year? And in January, I read A Torch Against the Night by Saba Tahir. I loved it. I read the first one maybe in like November or October or so, and then I read this one in January, and I adored it. Now, it's sequels, so you can't talk about a whole lot, but we follow a character by the name of Laya, whose family has been killed, and she wants to retaliate against this corrupt government. And so she goes in pretending she's a slave and intentions to, basically she wants to get revenge. So that's about all I'm going to tell you. But it was a very good book. It was a very good sequel. There's a third one coming out, and I don't know when, but I will read it. Question number 3 is a new release that you haven't read yet, and that is going to be Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. I actually just bought this on audiobook, like the day it came out. I pre-ordered it, I think, on Audible. So I'm definitely going to be reading this. I will probably listen to it, honestly, beginning of July. It'll be on my TBR for next month. My husband and I are both going to read it, and then we're going to have a discussion about it. So not only am I excited for this one coming out as a new release, I'm actually going to read it quickly. And that never happens. Question number 4. What is your most anticipated release for the year? Now, for the rest of the year. Now, I have a few that are coming out. I'm really excited about the Wonder Woman book by Leigh Bardugo. Part of that's because I just stinking love Wonder Woman. The other part is I have never read a Leigh Bardugo book. I know. So I want to get my hands on it. I want to read that one. I want to read Six of Crows this month. I'm really not sure if that's going to happen, but we'll see. Also, 2 other honorable mention books that are coming out are 2 sequels. The sequel to 3 Dark Crowns is called One Dark Throne. Now, I wasn't nuts about this book. I didn't love it. I was kind of like, I read it, and I think I was about a quarter of the way into it, and I was going to DNF it, and I read a review on it, and they said, yeah, the first like 75-80% is like slow, and then it picks up, and I was like, fine. So I literally counted 75% into the book and said, this is where I'm going to stop reading if it doesn't pick up, and it did. So the payoff for that book is in the last quarter of it, but it was a pretty good payoff, so I am going to read the next book most likely. So I will look forward to reading One Dark Throne by Kendar Blake. One more I want to mention is going to be the sequel to The Thousandth Floor by Catherine McGee, and it's called Dazzling Heights. I read this book. I read The Thousandth Floor earlier this year. I don't know what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting a cliffhanger. I didn't know it was a series, but I did like it. So I will definitely be looking forward to those 3 books. Question number 5, what is your biggest disappointment that you have read so far this year? And that would be November 9 by Colleen Hoover. Now, I'd never read any Colleen Hoover, so a few months ago I gave it a shot. I do not think I am a fan of her books. I'm so glad if you are. I am not a fan of her books. I did not like this book. I vehemently did not like this book. I didn't like the characters. I didn't like the plot. And I actually finished it because I thought something's going to pay off. We have like a very unlikable character with a likable, but you know he's lying about something character. And then when you find out the truth about the whole thing and the big reveal at the end, I thought there's got to be a payoff. And instead, it was horrible. And I was like, this is a horrible book. I regret the time that I took to read this book, and I will never read another book by this woman ever again. Number 6 is the biggest surprise, and that would have to be Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I did a review by this. I can link it down below. I loved this book. I didn't know what to expect from this book exactly. It was a book that I had put on my TBR, I don't know when, because somebody had recommended it. And then I was looking for something to listen to, and it was available at the library. So I was like, cool. And so I put it on my phone, and I was floored. Basically, this is a book about a guy who wakes up and his life is not his life anymore. His wife isn't his wife. His job isn't his job. He doesn't live where he lived before. And he gets to kind of figure that out. It is a bit of a thriller. It's not like a chase you through the woods trying to kill you thriller, but you definitely don't know what's going on. So I liked it a lot. It was a great surprise. And if you like books that are mysterious, good characters, good plot, this would be a book that you would like. Number 7 is your favorite new author or new to you, and I'm going to have to go with Libba Bray. I know she's been writing for a long time, but I had never read anything until this year by her. I read Beauty Queens, and I loved it. Like, anybody who can write through like 12 perspectives and make you like them all is pretty good author. It was interesting. It was fun. I've heard nothing but good things about her writing, so I anticipate reading more books, and I anticipate enjoying the books I read from her. Number 8 is newest fictional crush. And I'm going to be honest, you guys, I'm not one for crushing on book characters very often. Like, you have to have a pretty serious character for me to crush on them. So I don't really have a fictional crush. I'm just going to say, though, like a fictional male that I would just love to be good friends with. And for this, I'm going to go with Gansey from the Raven Boys Cycle. I've been reading those books this year. I just finished the 3rd one, and he's just so complex and interesting that I just want to know more about him and why he acts the way he does. And I just think he'd be a fun guy to be friends with and to hang out with. So that would be my answer. Number 9 is your newest favorite character. Now, I'm going to go through Raven Boys again, and this time I'm going to say Blue. I just read Blue Lily Blue by Maggie Stiefvater, and it's like the first book you get to know Adam. I mean, you get to know everybody, but it kind of centralizes him. The second one, Ronan. The third one is Blue, and I just feel like I've seen a side to Blue that wasn't in the other 2 books, and I kind of love it. Like, I loved getting to know her. She's spunky and smart, and just, she would be an amazing person to know in real life. But I would have to say she's one of my favorite fictional characters right now. Number 10 is a book that made you cry, and I am going to go with A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. So many tears. This book made me cry a ton. It was just, yeah. Basically, it's about a boy whose mother is dying of cancer, and he makes friends with the yew tree in his backyard that comes to life and basically teaches him things through stories. That's the rough of it, but it made me cry a lot. A lot. Question number 11, a book that made you happy. For this, I'm going to go with Scrappy Little Nobody. Now, this is a book by Anna Kendrick. I actually listened to this book because she reads it on audiobooks, so I was like, well, that sounds fun. And I got to tell you, I enjoyed the snot out of this book. She kind of talks about how she first got her start in acting and how she first got her start in movies and how, like, she does some bigger movies sometimes so that she can afford to take next to nothing for pay to do the smaller movies that she likes. And honestly, after hearing her read this book to me, I feel like I know her, and I kind of feel like we're friends. I know that sounds weird, but I feel like if I saw her on the street, I could go like, yeah, we're cool. We both know that I'm not cool, but there's something about that book that just makes me think, in a dream world, maybe we could be friends. Regardless, it made me happy. Question number 12 is my favorite book to movie adaptation for this year. Now, the only one I can think of off the top of my head is Everything, Everything, and I would say it was fine. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. So I'm going to bend the rules a little. I'm going to go with Beauty and the Beast. I loved the non-animated Beauty and the Beast that came out earlier this spring. I thought it was wonderful. Was it perfect? No, it really wasn't. I could sit and talk about its flaws, but I don't want to. I just want to enjoy it, and I did enjoy it. So that is my favorite adaptation so far this year. Number 13, what is my favorite video that I have done this year? I have only been a booktuber for 2 months, so I feel like I haven't done that many videos. Like, I've done a few a week for most of the weeks, so I'm going to go with my Chris Pratt book tag, and I can link it below. I think I like that one because it was a few years old, so I actually added a few questions of my own to update a little more and add some more of his movies, and I thought that was kind of fun. It was just a fun book tag in general. Number 14 is what is the most beautiful book that you have bought so far this year, and I'm going to go with Geekarella. Outside the fact that it has purple on it, and I love purple, it's like a very sturdy book, and it has like really sturdy pages, and the inside, I'm not going to say sturdy again, is pink, and it's pretty. I think this is just a gorgeous book. I have a really hard time keeping track of books that I buy, like by year. So this one I know I just bought a few months ago because it just came out a few months ago. So this is going to be my pick for that. Question number 15, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Like all of these, and probably some of these, a few of these, and some of the ones over there, like right here. It's a lot of books for me to read. We'll see how I do. Question number 16, who is your favorite BookTube community member? I just can't pick a favorite. I mean, everybody's been so great to me. I've only been doing this 2 months. Everybody has just been kind and fun, and this whole experience has been really, really great. So I don't think I can pick one, but I do want to tag a few people. I want to tag Books and Things. I want to tag Books and Looks, and I also want to tag Brews and Reviews. Do this tag, you guys. Tag me back after you do it, and then let's see where that leaves everybody. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I encourage you to like if you like, and subscribe if you would like to be notified when I have new videos. You can also click that little bell and it'll go ding every time I post one. I usually post videos on Tuesdays and Fridays, and I look forward to seeing you guys later. Goodbye.